Reading from her body language, the Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Amongi, constructively expressed her anger in her response to the report by a select committee on the mismanagement of National Social Security Fund.
Honorable Minister,
it couldn't therefore have been my responsibility, nor the responsibility of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, to prevent those anomalies. How would I have prevented it when I was not supervising the fund? To the contrary, it is my ministry that raised the red flags that have led to investigation by both IGG, Auditor General, and this Parliament. Why am I being victimized? I want to know.
Minister Betty Amongi disagreed with only one recommendation, pushing for her immediate resignation, reiterating her position that the 6 billion request was within the law, saying that the accusations are baseless.
Right Honorable Speaker, we should be guided by the law. We have in place Public Finance and Management Act as amended. And therefore we must be guided by the law. And the law says there is a difference between originating and implementation. Now, who originates the budget? We need to be clear on that. On the law, please, not person. We should be clear on who initiates the budget.
We advised against it, and she went ahead and made a decision. That is how far we can go, Madam Chair.
Who brought the idea?
Which one?
Of the 6 billion.
The 6 billion, I have indicated in my statement. I brought it up in a meeting.
It is okay, that's answered. That answers Cecilia's question on the originator or initiator.
This is the second time the House debates a report of the Select Committee on the State of Affairs at NSSF, which provided 27 recommendations zeroed on exposing corruption at the fund.
But why did the committee not even put any recommendation on finance? Why?
Minister Betty Amongi, who was accorded time to respond to the allegations, distanced herself from the 1.8 billion shillings fund shared through a disguised initiative of corporate social investment at NSSF.
No, the 1.8 has not been given. It was approved by me as stakeholders as they sent it. But when it now reached implementation, the MD gave 800 aside for labor unions, COF2 and NO2.
Who is the MD?
The former MD, Richard Byarugaba.
Okay.
So Richard Byarugaba, the former MD, wanted to use the 1 billion to give members of the board to approve his contract. And Richard scrolled his phone and said, this one is for you, this one is for you, this one is for you. Just sign my contract.
On the allegations against the former Managing Director Richard Byarugaba, Minister Betty Amongi told Parliament that she could not avail the evidences to the committee after the same matter was already with the IGG.
Where else would I get the evidence? I notified them that I had already sent the evidence to the IGG and AG, and that other evidence were submitted to the Right Honourable Prime Minister, as acknowledged by the committee on page 22 of their report. And I notified them the Prime Minister had also written referring the matter to Auditor General.
The MPs later deliberated on amending the recommendations, succeeding with a number of them, including omitting the recommendation calling for amending the NSSF Amendment Act 2022, among others.
I now put a question that the report of the Select Committee on the State of Affairs of the National Social Security Fund be adopted by this House. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
The move by the August House to recommend for the resignation of Cabinet Minister Betty Amongi is among the many attempts to prove its autonomy. This applies following a recent similar vote of Parliament to censure Persis Namuganza, the Minister of State for Housing, which has since witnessed a loud silence by the executive. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Guitabinji, UBC News.